today I've been seeing this video going around and I thought, you know what? I have been basic for the last few months without even trying. I've just been in this mood to wear like basic, neutral, bronzy, warm tone, cool tone, neutral tone. Not much color except for on my lips, and it may have been because I really wanted to dive into my bright lips and I really wanted to just tone down my eyeballs. But when I saw this video, I'm like, you know what? This is perfect. Perfect timing, because I've been doing this for the last few months, so why not? So today I'm going to share with you guys my top 10 favorite palettes that are just basic. Now, the title is a little bit changed on mine. I don't talk the way that the title is normally, so I didn't feel the need to put that on there. It's just a personal thing. Nothing against the other ladies, it's just I'm not going to put something in a title of a video that the way I don't speak. So we have 10 palettes. If you're interested to know my array, stay tuned. All right, you guys, these are in no particular order. I just lay them out on my table and I'm just gonna grab one by one and share with you guys which ones are my basic favorite palettes, especially recently, that I have been loving. Let's start out with Natasha Denona. This is the Glam palette. There's gonna be a lot of Natasha Denona in here. She's just good at basic. So this is the first one I wanna mention. I actually like this one more so because I feel like sometimes palettes can either lean way too warm or way too cool, and this one's right in the center for me. I don't feel like this is too warm or too cool. It's right in the middle, so if I really don't want my makeup to lean one way or another, this is the one that I reach for. I really like it. I reach mainly for this one for work days, days that I want to look put together, days that I don't want to really think about my eyeshadow or having to babysit it or having to pick a specific outfit because of my eyeshadow and I don't want it to clash, so on and so forth. This is the palette that I would reach for. I really do like it. Natasha Denona is one of my top 3 favorite formulas, as you guys know, so there's going to be a lot of her in here, but I do have other ones that I like. So this is the first one I want to share with you guys, and I'm sure some of these palettes are going to be repetitive in other people's videos. Up next is the Patrick Ta Major Dimension, the first one. It's funny because when I bring this palette up in other videos, I have gotten comments where that one was too basic for me, I went for the second one. That one's too basic for me, I have other ones like it. So you guys have said it to me many times that this is just a very basic palette, but I do love it for the summertime. This is one of my favorite palettes. Let me tell you, these cream shadows, if he can come out with these cream shadows in a shadow stick form, I would love it. Absolutely love it. These cream shadows all by themselves last so well in the summer, humid climates. I've tried these and just with this, and they blend perfect. They don't tug on my eyelids. They last all day, and that's all that I wore is just these shadows on my eyes. Love them. So this I fell in love with even more by playing around with that this summertime. So this is my one of my favorite summer palettes. Up next is a palette that I speak about constantly. One of my most used basic palettes that I do own. One of the reasons why a lot of other palettes have left my collection that were basic, because this is the one that I would reach for. That's the Viseart Neutral Matte. It's just perfect. It doesn't look like it's loved, but in person, you can clearly see all the messiness of this palette. On camera, not so much, but in person, you definitely can. I love this palette because it gives you everything. It is a neutral palette. You can lean a little bit warm, lean a little bit neutral, lean a little bit cool. Use this on your eyebrows, use this as a bronzer, use this as many different things on your face, so it doesn't necessarily just have to be an eyeshadow product. I love it. Still reach for this every day. I still love it. I still enjoy it. It's expensive, but I think it was worth it for me because I reach for this all the time. All the time. I can't believe I still have yet to hit pan. Especially in like the top row, this is the row that I use the most. If a palette doesn't have something that I need, this is the palette. This is what I reach for, and I love this one. All right, another Natasha Denona. This is a newer one for me. This is the Glam Face Palette. This is the light version. I love the light and the dark. So the light and dark can interchangeably be in this spot, and it doesn't matter whichever one, but I feel like both of them are basic, but they're still both beautiful palettes. This is another one where I don't want to think about it. If I don't want to have too much on the eyes, I just go for the mattes, and then I'll stick the highlighter on my lid and be done with it. Or if I really want to pack a punch, these two shadows right here just pack a beautiful punch on the eyes. It's just beautiful. It brings it up a notch. This blush I absolutely adore. Highlighter is nice, not my favorite out of everything in here, but it's still nice. It's still usable. This is so basic. It's 5 shadows. How much more basic can you get? But it is a beautiful palette, and I do like it. I know some people didn't care for it, but I really, these just shimmer shades really pack a punch, and I love it. Really vavoom. Like I could do a smoky eye with this palette and put one of those on the lid, and it really does shine. The next palette that I have for you guys is a palette that got the name of being repetitive. It didn't need to be that many shadows, so on and so forth. But at the time, this is exactly what I was looking for when it came to a bronzy palette, and it was perfect for me. The Natasha Denona Bronze Palette. It looks like there's a lot of repeat shadows in here, but they do have different undertones. And it does make a difference for me specifically, and I'll explain to you how. Some shadows in here just look so much better on me when I do have a tan, and then other shadows look better on me when I don't have a tan. And I still have that bronzy look on my eyes without it being too much. Sometimes bronzy palettes go one way and the undertone is just too much, too stark for me in the wintertime, and it just makes me look like an Oompa Loompa. It actually makes my whole face look like I'm orange and bronzed, even though it doesn't match the rest of my face. It just looks odd, and this palette doesn't do that. Because of the undertones, because of the different shades in here, it works for me all year round, and that's exactly what I was looking for in a bronze higher end palette. And I do love the fact that she chose other shades in here to just change up a little bit and not just make it all browns. I think it's a beautiful palette. Yes, I made it clear when I bought it that it's not for everyone, but it was a palette that I was looking for, and I was able to bring it into my collection. This is another one that's basic to me that I absolutely love. All right, 5 more, you guys. Couldn't do this video without sharing this one, the Bare Necessities. This is a palette that you can have and not have to worry about buying anything else. No joke. Like it gives you everything. It is very basic. It is very neutral, but it does give you those little pops of warmth, a little bit of mauve, a little bit of peach, everything you can, but it's more neutral and natural and everyday kind of eyeshadows. For those that don't want color in their looks, it's a beautiful palette. I've heard so many people say that this was a palette that they didn't really want, didn't care for, and then when they bought it, they realized how much they love it and fall in love. It is a beautiful palette, and it is something that if I were to leave on my desk and everything else get taken away, I could do a different look every day and not really feel like I'm doing the same kind of looks every single day. It does give you versatility, and I do like it. It's basic, but it is beautiful. All right, guys. ColourPop had so many basic palettes, but if I were to choose one specific one, it was between this one and another one, but I really like this one just a little bit more. This is the Feeling Bubbly one. This was just a palette that I purchased just to make a shipping threshold, but it wasn't necessarily something that I was searching to get. It was either between this and Going Coconuts, and I actually like this one a lot more. This one, it just, I don't know, there's something about it. As you guys can see, I almost hit pan on the center shade. It may very well be that this is larger pans and the formula is just a little bit different, a little bit more velvety, a little bit more softer. I really do like this one a lot more. And I feel like this one is a neutral palette. I can go either way with it without it. I feel like it takes over one season or another. It just suits me all year round. I really do like this one. Very basic to the point, but it's beautiful. Okay, up next is a palette that when I open it up, it looks like it's bland. It looks like it's just vanilla. To put it any other way, it just looks like it's vanilla, but I do love it because it gives you a little bit of a dimension to it, and that's the Nabla Cutie palette in the nude. I know a lot of people did declutter this one, but for me, there was something about it, and I think it was because it leaned a little bit more pinky. Like these shades have a little bit of a pinkier, dirty rose kind of a look to it. I don't know what it is. This shade is just beautiful. This shade is beautiful. It's a very distinctive palette. It's not just new to me, and I think that's why I like it. It's so basic. You get your typical brown, your beigey shade, your dark black, and then a little bit in between, but it still gives you enough to come up with a beautiful look. Because certain shades in here, like these two in the center, have a different finish, it gives you a little bit of more of a pop. Like this shadow here, it just just stands out. It just looks so pretty on the eye. So it could be basic, but it still stands out on its own. Really like this one. And I don't mind the cream to powder in some of these. I really don't. I can work with them well. And for me, whenever I get a cream to powder on my eyes, I really can test it out because my eyes are very oily. And sometimes with the temperature outside, and I have 4 seasons that I live through, so sometimes my eyelids aren't as oily, and when they do become a little bit oily, it melts the shadows in a specific way that looks so natural and so beautiful. And that's what I feel like with cream to powders. Sometimes, depending on the time of year, the shadow just looks a little bit more extra put together because of my natural oils on my eyelids that melt it. It just looks so pretty. It looks fused together. It doesn't look patchy. It doesn't look like I tried too hard. It doesn't look like I lumped it or crusty. It really does look nice. So for me, I don't mind the cream to powder. So that's what this one gives me, and I really like this one. 2 more, friends, 2 more. This one's an OG one. Now, let me tell you, there's been a lot of palettes that have left my collection in the last year and a half. A lot. And this palette just continues to stand the test of time, and I think it's more of the formula. You guys know that older makeup, more mainstream brands sometimes keep their older formula that just lasts a little bit longer, and I do love that. So this one is very basic, but I love it, and I've used it a ton, and it doesn't look like I've used it much. This is the Nars Loaded palette. This was old, one of my older palettes, but it's so basic, but it's still so beautiful. It just still suits my everyday needs. I can reach in this one and still come up with such a beautiful, sophisticated, everyday, not anything out there, spicy, colorful. And I love it because the formula is so, what's the word? Dependable. The formula is very dependable. I can trust Nars. I can trust MAC. Those are the shadows that I know I can trust, that'll last all day, that'll do what it's supposed to, not make it too much, not make me spend an arm, like just so much time on my eyes, but it still comes out with this beautiful look. And this palette, still, you guys, I mean, I will not let this go. It's just so beautiful. These 2 shades, especially this one, is one of my favorites. You know, this burnt orangey chestnutty color is one of my favorites, like ever eyeshadows. I just love that color. So that's the next one. It's obviously the one palette that I have in the whole bunch that's not available, but I had to share it with you guys because I'm being honest. That's what I use and that's what I love. Last but not least was a little one, a little mini one. I wanted to choose something that was small, that I reach for a ton. I don't realize that I reach for it a lot, but I do actually. And it's the Natasha Denona Mini Glam. The Mini Glam one is the one that I feel like it's the most neutral one, but it suits my needs whenever I want something quick. Not a lot of variety. I don't want to go too orangey, or too warm tone, too cool tone, but it's basic. It's basic to the point, and it makes me look put together. This is the one that I've reached for quite a bit. For a lot of fancy events, for a lot of nice events that I wanted to, this is the one that I reach for a lot. I really do like it. Out of all the mini sophisticated ones, I just reach for this one a lot more. I really do. I like it. It is gorgeous. It's just everything that I need. Like, I could wear this today with this shirt and I'm good. I'm good. I don't have to worry about it. I'm good. Obviously, you guys can tell that today I'm also wearing a basic eyeshadow. I'm actually wearing the Nude Mood palette by ColourPop on my eyes. And it's very basic to the point, you guys. Very basic to the point. These are the ones that I really would not let go of. Like, if I were to declutter more eyeshadow palettes, these would be ones that I would not let go of. I would let go of other ones over this one. At least that's how I feel about right now. I've been really loving having a bolder cheek, a bolder lip, and a very minimal eye. That's what I've been feeling for the last few months. This is why you haven't been seeing a lot of color on my eyes lately. It's just, I really wanted to get more, that was my goal this year, is to get more use out of my lip products. I have gotten rid of even more lip products because I've realized a lot have gone bad because I have let them sit because I've been using a lot more eyeshadow, colorful eyeshadows, and then just sticking to the neutral lip. I really do like the bold lip. That's what I wanted this year. I just wanted to feel the color in my lips and my cheeks, not necessarily on my eyes. And these palettes just speak to me, you guys. They speak to me. These palettes, I'll link them down below. Let me know what your favorite basic palette is. What is it that you always reach for? What is the one that's always there, you can depend on? easy, no fuss, get to the point, and you still look put together. There's a lot of palettes that I still have that I would consider in this, but these are the ones that I've always reached for whenever I think of something basic to the point. I love these. I absolutely love these. So I'll link these down below and let me know what your favorite basic palette is. All right, guys, that's all that I have for you today. All right, more videos on the screen for your enjoyment. Until then,